next will be, the 14 turnovers we had 10 from our veterans, actually 12 from our veterans. And so that is, but let's credit SMU a little bit too for speeding us up, from really just making us play where we made some really tough decisions in the game, whether some early shot selection, some early execution. So I thought the start of the second half was really a telltale sign in this game, and I was so proud of our team when we fought back, take a 3-point lead, and at that point I thought, all right, we are making strides now. We can play with a lot of people. We pull this one out, but obviously we didn't have enough. And I thought we had Larry's defense is really good, but I do think we had some incredibly good open looks that we did not hit either inside or on the perimeter. And so you throw 14 turnovers and the way we shot the ball, and it's a tough win. So we'll just keep working. We got another game on Monday with Coppin State and see how we can do to grow from it.
Jake, why don't you start us off?
Coach, you mentioned SMU kind of speeding things up, especially in the second half. When the deficit started to grow, do you think that did they take 2 more threes than you were comfortable with?
I thought we had really us.
Yeah.
No, I thought we had open when it really got opened up. Now we have to, especially if we're open. So we had to do that. But you're looking at the game with 5 or 6 minutes to go. So 4 or 5.8 minutes, we got the lead, I believe. And so it is. There's some threes that you have to take when they're packing the paint, and there's some other ones where we gotta finish around the rim. We got the ball inside, we have to finish around the rim, finish our foul shots, all that stuff.
Just stay right there with Max.
You guys have ridden out slumps in certain areas of the game in the past, often by relying on the 3-point shooting. When that is the slump, how much more difficult is it then to ride?
Well, it is difficult. You take what we're not a 3-point shooting team. We're not a throw it inside team. We're not a drive team. We're whatever the defense is going to give us. And today they give us a good combination of that. So on most days and on most seasons here, we very rarely have a shooting day like today. So you just that's obviously part of it, but it's also we had some pretty good opportunities at the rim, particularly a couple in the second half and a couple in the first half that we should be making, and we've got to work at that.
Swing over here with Chris.
I know you don't talk about injuries much, but can you talk about when your point guards are both struggling? It seems pretty obvious how that limits you.
Well, it is, because they're really 2 very bright players that they give us energy, they give us high IQ, they're really good players. But they won't say the injuries that they just are just plaguing them a little bit right now. They're not going to say that it made a difference, so I'm not either.
Right down in front with that.
John, Karis mentioned the shooting a little bit, but he also said the turnovers were kind of the big thing that's hindering you guys. Could you address that?
That's what we talked about in the locker room. That was my big point. I realized, I've been coaching a long time, I realized sometimes the ball just doesn't go in the basket. And they had some good looks too from 3, and they didn't, except for the flurry at the beginning by Moore, they didn't make a lot of outside shots either. They're longer than us, but we can. You're going to have those games. We cannot go down and blow up fast breaks, or we started the second half with a great stop and a fast break, but we threw a bad pass and then shot an off-balance shot. It's like, that's not how you're going to win, and our guys know, so they're upset about that as well.
On the right with Nick.
John, with Karis, there were times where he'd get 2 feet in the paint, he'd get near the basket, and he'd elect to pass it rather than go for contact. Is he okay? Is he physically okay?
Yeah, his body is, at 200 pounds, is going to get some big guys in there as well. Sometimes if he doesn't feel he has leverage, right, can't get the ball in there, he's going to kick it back out. And then there's times he's got to finish, either through contact or around contact by using his speed. But no, he's okay. He's playing a lot of minutes, and he's a guy that in practice does not take turns off. So we got to look at that maybe. That our practice was so hard, he competes so hard. How can we get him a little bit more rest? Because it's obvious we need him on the floor in game.
Is there too much on his shoulders right now? Derek's a little banged up, whatever. Is there too much on Karis? Is he putting too much on his own plate?
That's something you'd have to ask him. I know I'm going to put a lot of things on his plate because he's a heck of a kid and a really good player, and we're going to give him a lot of opportunities. And our game plan won't change at all after this. He had a tough day today.